father.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him vaguely, tall,
He
very
wasn't.
handsome.
He wasn't William.
No,
Okay. So he was before William.
he was the forerunner,
Okay.
I think, of William.
Okay.
Trying to remember, but I can't.
And somewhere along the line, Alice recovered from her TB.
Yes, because she was in a TV sanitarium in Steubenville.
Right. Okay.
And I remember vaguely when I was 2 or 3, I must have been 3 or
Mm-hmm.
4, going over this humpy bridge
Mm-hmm.
to go meet my mama
Hmm.
because they brought her to me.
Mm-hmm.
See, she was in a care facility
Yeah. She
for
would have
that.
been.
In those days, that's where they put you when
Yeah.
you had something contagious
Mm-hmm.
or maybe contagious,
Yeah.
and they didn't know whether I had inherited it or not. And there, in those days, they didn't have tests that they do now.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being so happy to see my dad when he did come, but he didn't come very often.
This wasn't. Was this William or was it somebody else?
I'm trying to remember,
I can't quite
Chris, and
remember.
I can't.
I'm kind of fuzzy on that.
You'll have to check it out and see,
Okay.
because it'll give you something to do.
Well, tell me more about Alice. What else was she like?
My mother was very blonde,
Okay.
and we have pictures of her in one of those boxes in the storage,
Okay.
in a box like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it has salt and pepper paper on it, and it's got all kinds of pictures and stuff in it, some
Oh.
of which have names on the back of the pictures,
Well, I'll have to
And-
look for that.
some of those doesn't.
Yeah.
And Mother's hair, I remember when I was 3 or 4, Mother sold her hair. In
Mhm.
those days, you made money that way, and she
Yeah.
could sit on hers.
Mm-hmm.
And
She had a lot of hair.
oh yeah, and the thing is that the doctor had told her she had to cut it because it was taking all of her strength.
Hmm.
And she could sit on her hair, and I thought that was just wonderful. You know,
Mhm.
I was just a kid,
Yeah.
and she was so pretty, and she bobbed her hair, and my dad was absolutely livid.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, there was a story on, it's been on a number of years, over the years, it's a story about a woman who sold her hair to buy her husband a watch fob,
Mm-hmm.
and he sold his watch fob to buy her a comb for her hair.
I think I've heard that story.
Oh, it's a very popular story, repeatable
Mm-hmm.
over the years. And my mother figured into that because she sold her hair.
She did.
And she had short bobbed hair, and my dad was so upset. And I remember her saying to him, oh, she did, she called him Billiam. When she got mad at him, she called him Billiam. His
So this
name
would
was
have been
William.
William Pickwick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she called him Billiam.
Mhm.
You know, snatches come back, honey, and
Yeah,
I
they
can't
do.
remember them all. But she did call him Billiam, especially when she'd get mad at him.
Yeah.
And she said, we needed the money, and I remember that she had a short bob to her earlobes, and it frizzed out because it was very curly
Mm-hmm.
wherever we were living, and it was somewhere in Ohio where there was a lot of humidity.
Oh, okay.
It
So
had
this
to
was
be.
before you moved to McLean. This was when you were
Oh,
still
yeah.
in Ohio.
We
Okay.
moved to McLean because we fell in love with McLean, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
When we drove through there, we were looking for a school for me to transfer to. I was going to a DC school, and I didn't like it.
A DC school. Okay.
A high school.
Yeah.
I think it was a junior high up on a hill somewhere, and I didn't like it because that's where I got beat up.
Yeah. Okay.
There was 5 of them that attacked us and put us in the hospital.
Who was us?
Blacks and whites.
Oh, okay.
What
Was-
we used to call alley people.
Were Alice and Parker still at home? Not Alice. Were Ethlyn and Parker still at home at this point? when you all moved to
No,
McLean?
Evelyn got married. She
Okay.
got pregnant.
Oh.
She got married.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker was working in at Wendell's Garage. I can't remember where, but it was Wendell. And
Wendell's Garage in D.C. or?
no, wait a minute. No, it's just gone right out of my
It's
head.
okay.
I'm
And
sorry.
you said Ethlyn got married?
Yeah, Evelyn got married.
Was
She
that
got-
Robert Goodwin or was that a different?
that was Goodwin.
Okay, it was Robert Goodwin. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a driver. See, my uncle, our aunt, for 25 years ran a bus line
Mm-hmm.
called the Silver Streak or something like that through New England.
Oh, okay.
And she made good money at it.
This
She
would
was-
have been a sibling of Alice? It was your aunt?
I don't remember, Chris.
That's okay. It's all right.
I really can't remember. I only remember bits and pieces, over the years.
That's how we all are. We
it's
just remember
just
little bits
enough,
and things.
huh?
Yeah. That's how we all are. We just remember
Yeah.
little bits and pieces.
I know that
So Parker worked in a garage, you said?
yeah, he worked in Wendell's Garage. And I know that our aunt that had the bus line
Mm-hmm.
was homelier than a hedge fence, but she had 3 of the most handsome and well-to-do husbands. And I never could figure out how she could do it because she had carrot killer hair
Mm-hmm.
and it stood out at all angles.
Mm-hmm.
She could never get it permed, as she called it.
Yeah.
And, God, oh, that's so long ago, Chris. I didn't even know I could remember any of that.
It's all hidden away there.
I don't know whether it was Toledo or not. I don't think so.
Whether the garage was in Toledo or...
Wendell's Garage
Hmm.
was where my brother worked.
Right. Okay.
And Parker, my brother Parker, was 6'4".
Yeah.
And I can remember him sitting down at a table. I don't know where we were. Somebody had given him 6 good-sized corn. Pieces of corn
Corn on the cob?
on the cob.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him eat all 6 of those
Mm-hmm.
and still hungry.
Well, when you're 6'4", you got a lot to fill there.
Well, that's what he said. He said, I got, because I used to say he had hollow legs.
Yeah.
And I said, and I called him Nitchy. I
You
don't
called
know why.
Parker
Nitchy.
Nitchy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lynn and I did.
Uh-huh.
Because she named him that originally.
Mhm.
We couldn't say, see, his name was Parker Neal. And he was born on Armistice Day.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother said that she felt that the whole world was celebrating the fact that she had given birth, a live birth. So I don't know how many she lost.
Oh, yeah.
But, and you didn't hang on to many, you couldn't.
Yeah.
And she gave a live birth to my brother. And she thought the whole world was celebrating because
Mhm.
it was Armistice Day.
Yeah.
And he was born on Armistice Day.
Okay. And you called him Nitchy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, Evelyn called him that basically because it was a family nickname.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where it came from. I know she may have told me, but his middle name was Neil.
Right.
And it was Neil.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different spelling because it was a family name.
Right.
And I don't know which family it came from.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to give you only bits and pieces, but that's all I remember, honey.
That's really okay.
I didn't know I knew that many. Gosh.